Welcome to Optimal Timelines. I am your guide, Sean, and helping you to connect to your most optimal future timeline. So monthly Tarotscope readings for August 2022 for your North Node by sign and house. And remember, the reason I use the North Node as opposed to your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant is because it is your North Star. It is the thing that we are supposed to learn and practice in this lifetime. So it's much more relevant to your everyday life. Now, a big thing happening this month, end of July into August, is the Uranus-Mars North Node conjunction in Taurus. Lots of changes on the global level and for all of us. And what I always say to my clients and friends about their North Node is, when you follow your North Node path and you're on path for your lifetime and what you're supposed to learn, transits, even difficult transits, are much more easy and smooth for your life. So that's the key right there. So let's get into the readings. Okay, so this is your monthly Tarotscope reading for August 2022 for everybody with their North Node in Capricorn and or the 10th house. And remember, you're going to want to watch two videos. You're going to want to watch one for your North Node by sign and one for your North Node by house. Also, while I'm shuffling, I want to invite you to take some deep breaths, open up your energy field to receive any information that's going to be most relevant to you in your life right now. So I'm going to connect to the energies and we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, North Node in Capricorn and or 10th house. Okay, so the spread on this side of the table represents the first half of the month from the 1st to the 15th, and this side over here represents the second half of the month from the 16th on. Now, the overall theme that came up for you North Nodes in Capricorn or the 10th house was big time setting boundaries. So with this Ace of Swords, okay, this is telling me it's about one of the things you're learning right now is setting boundaries and protecting yourself without losing your emotional intelligence, because the gifts that you came into this world with in this lifetime are emotional intelligence, deep feeling, okay? But with your North Node in Capricorn, you're supposed to develop other kinds of gifts. And what it can end up happening with this North Node, and what I feel like is happening this first half, is I feel like you are being challenged to set boundaries on a situation, a person, or group of people. Like it's like setting boundaries, and you're being challenged. Now, your natural way of being is, for most of you, depending on your individual chart, you don't really enjoy, for the most part, like fighting and having to defend yourself per se. Like I said, that it varies. It's not something, you're not like the natural with this North Node, natural warrior type for most of you. Okay, and it's like you normally would choose something of that, you know, a peaceful way, okay? And I see this with the Seven of Pentacles. It's like, you know, just really want to concentrate on what is happening in your life and live a peaceful life. You know, the Seven of Pentacles, just like watching the garden, you know, grow. And I feel like what is happening with this Seven of Swords, you know, in a reverse, there's a situation where someone is overstepping their boundaries. You know, this character here is sneaking into someone's tent and stealing some swords. Okay, and so are we talking about someone actually physically stealing something from you? Yeah, it could be that, okay, but most likely what it is, we're talking about someone who steals maybe your dignity, or steals, you know, or someone who owes, just overstepping their bounds some way, okay, where it is not good for your emotions and your psyche. So you are being challenged, because remember what you're learning, you're going from your north node or your south node in Cancer, okay, ruled by the moon and emotions and deep emotional intelligence, you know, and you're moving into Capricorn, okay, ruled by Saturn, okay. This is like the, you know, authoritarian, this is the authority, this is setting boundaries, this is like the CEO going in there and making a company out of nothing. I mean, this is Saturn, okay, this is boundaries, this is restrictions, and both have their place. And so I feel like this first half of the month you're being challenged, you know, to do this. And again, with this Knight of Swords reversed, this is like there could be a reluctance to stand up to whatever the situation is. But I want to tell you, you can stand up for it. Now, stand up for yourself and set boundaries. Now, it's interesting, your two advice cards in doing this, okay, you have the Fool and you've got the High Priestess. Now, these are really interesting cards, because when you see when you see, or you tell someone, okay, you have to set boundaries with this person or this group of people, you have to set boundaries. You think of kind of like, okay, you know, I'm going into battle, or we're gonna be in a fight, and sometimes that is, you know, very appropriate. Maybe not a physical fight, but, you know, like sometimes you're getting down and dirty, you're having to set boundaries. Sometimes there's a little bit of an ugly situation. But the interesting thing is, with this Knight of Swords reversed, this is telling you you're not charging into this situation. You're not setting boundaries by going into battle with somebody. What you're doing is, with this Fool reversed, or Fool upright, and you have the High Priestess, you're using your natural gifts of emotional intelligence, and you're able to navigate this with possibly words, or with actions that don't have to be inflammatory, you know, that can be, so you're still setting there's ways to set boundaries without having to get in a dirty grappling match fight, okay, you know what I mean? And that's what this is saying. This is saying that there's ways to do that. You have, this is dealing with things with finesse. The High Priestess is not only the master of her emotions, but she's the master of both the white pillar and the black pillar, of the polarities, of being able to deal with things. Yes, is there a time when you may need to, you know, go out, and she's not afraid to pick up a sword when she needs to, you know, again, not literally, but, you know, to go in there and really get down and dirty and fight for what she believes in, and having to set boundaries with people. But there's also, she has the intelligence and the emotional intelligence to realize, I'm going to use what is going to be most beneficial to me. If I don't if I can do it with words, if I can just do it with emotions. And that's what this is really saying too with the Fool, is it could just mean like walking away from somebody or some situation, you know, where it's like, you see it for what it is. They've overstepped their bounds. Maybe they've done it more than once or whatever. And it's like, you're like, nope. And that is, even walking away in strength is setting boundaries. But you get what I'm saying. That's what this is. For all of you, it's going to be slightly different. Could it be in a romantic relationship? Could it be, yes, work, family, friends, some situation that I feel like this is an opportunity for you, but it's definitely setting boundaries in some way, shape, or form. Now, the second half of the month, we've got the Three of Pentacles reversed, the Star reversed, and the Four of Wands reversed. I definitely feel like this second half of the month, what's happening is that this is for a lot of you, the work that you do. The work that you do is where this theme is going to play out, okay? And in particular, so it could be, and it's not even necessarily you working at a company, even working inside the home. If you are, whatever you do, I feel like this challenge is going to come up. It doesn't matter what you do for a career, and even if you think you don't have a career, you do. But what it is you do every day is going to be, challenged. Now, the Star reversed is a card just like the Sun, and there's a few others like the World, where they're positive, reversed also, and it's because it's like a delayed energy. And what I'm feeling with this Four of Wands with the Star reversed and the Three of Pentacles is, at your whatever you do on a day-to-day basis for work, there's going to be a situation that is going to seemingly block you from like a goal. And what's really, really important is that you have the Four of Pentacles here, okay? And you've got the Nine of Swords. And what this is going to challenge you, I feel like this is going to challenge you on the mental level, to where this is going to be something you're going to definitely want to handle on the mental and emotional level. And so the Four of Pentacles, this is protection. You know, you're circling the wagons around you. You are protecting, you know, your resources. You're protecting your assets. You're protecting, excuse me, you're protecting, you know, yourself. You're protecting your pride. You're protecting your dignity. You know, all of that. You know, you're protecting your emotions, okay? And don't let whatever this is, this second half of the month that is work related, don't let it get into your head, and don't worry about it, because now what the danger is that if you don't set boundaries, it could do two things. So if you are not able, like strong enough and able to set boundaries where they need to be set, it's going to delay in like the life you want, the stable, beautiful life you want. It's almost like, what I mean by all this is that sometimes when we are staying in our South Node patterns, it could seem like we're going to get what we want more. Like, for example, saying, you know, I'm not going to really get into it. It's not worth it for me, because you're trying to keep you're trying to keep the peace. I just want to keep my stable Four of Wands, you know, enjoy life, you know, stay in my garden, Seven of Pentacles. But what ends up happening when we stay in old patterns of our South Node, we think that we're going to get what we want, but it's not going to work out. So this is literally, you know, forcing you. And what's going to happen too is when you don't set those boundaries, we're talking about a lot of like worry, a lot of mental anguish. When you do set the boundaries, that's when you're going to set yourself free. And now it is going to feel uncomfortable for a lot of you to do that. It's going to, even on a small level, someone oversteps their bounds, and just to even like speak up and say, you know what, I didn't appreciate that, and, you're handling it in a good way, emotionally calm and collected. But when you're just doing that, it feels uncomfortable. I get it, but it's going to really pay off because it's going to help you to get that life you want. Okay. The life of celebration, the life of stability, the life of being able to, feel whole. Okay. So anyway, go out there, be strong, set boundaries. Don't be afraid to do that, because in this lifetime, you are being blessed for being strong. The more you can, embrace that Saturn energy, that energy of setting boundaries, the stronger you'll be, and you'll still be able to keep your beautiful emotional gifts. Okay. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. And if you could hit that like button just real quick, it really helps out the channel. Would appreciate it. If you would like a personal reading, there's going to be a link in the description box below, and we could look at your chart individually. And yeah, thanks for watching, and go out, be strong, make it a great month. Many blessings.